channel. Before we get started today, I am gonna announce the winner to our last giveaway, and today's winner is Lori Lanani. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Congrats to you, Lori, and make sure you send me a DM on Instagram. Yes, I want it on Instagram so it doesn't get flooded. And for today's question, it's gonna be somewhere in the video again, so just watch the video, answer my question, and that's how you guys enter to the next giveaway. All right guys, it's another surprise set, so watch the video, answer my question, and that's how you enter the giveaway. And for today's nails, I am gonna do something light and elegant because I feel like I've been doing a lot of bright colors, so I'm gonna, you know, tone it down just a bit and switch to the lighter tones. So here you go, check it out. Okay guys, I already have the Notpolish universal tips on, so we're starting out with number 155 and a white, which is number 2 from Notpolish also. And you guys see how I pick up the beads first. I pick up the new first and then the white. So I have 2 beads of 2 different colors on one brush, just like that. And make sure it's super runny, and I'm just gonna lightly drag it across the nail. And especially when we're working with marbling, we want to work in small sections, okay? We don't want to work in one big section, the whole nail, because sometimes that can get a little bit harder. So just work in small section like this, and make sure your powder is super runny, and they will just run into each other like this. And you want some of the veins also, so the white lines, you want it to be more defined. So do not apply too much pressure on the nail, or else your marble would just look all mushed up together. So just light touch like that, you see that, and just lightly drag it. And there is no wrong or right way of doing marble, so just make sure light strokes and very runny powder. That's the only trick to doing marble. Super easy once you get it down. And make sure it's on the light, the thinner side, because you know why? We're going to encapsulate it in crystal clear powder. So I'm just going to apply it right there. Clean my brush, dip it in a little bit monomer, and then flush the acrylic into the cuticles. And then now the powder is setting a little bit, I am going to press and pull it all the way down to the tip of the nail. And make sure you guys keep the shape of the nails also while you guys are doing this, to prevent you spending so much time on filing it, and it's just a lot more work, okay? So application is the key. Always keep it nice and clean. All right, and then we just cut it off at the end like that, and there you go. I am just gonna lightly press it into the shape again. And for this one, I am gonna do different. So I'm gonna start out with the first bead. You see that? Flatten as the top, just like that, and then I'm gonna lightly pull it down, and now you just drag it right into the center of the nail like that. Don't worry about getting it perfect just yet. Just drag it right into the center, and then now using your clean brush, you just kind of clean off the edges, just like how you would clean the French tip when you're doing French tips. So I am just gonna clean the edges of the nail like that. Just make sure it's nice and clean, but you don't have to get it super perfect. You know why? Because we're gonna go in with a hand file, and then we're gonna go in and file it to sharpen the smile line up later on. So I'm just gonna use my brush and just kind of mold it to the best I can, just like that. And then we're just gonna press it like that, you see? Lightly press it into the nail. And again, this number is 155 from Notpolish also. And then now I am going to work in my second bead and put it close to the cuticle, not too super close, and then push it up into the cuticles a little bit. Clean your brush, dip it in a little bit of monomer, and now flush the product into the cuticles and lightly press and pull it down towards the middle of the nail, just like that, you see? And then we're just gonna swoop that excess piece off right there. There you go. And then now I'm just gonna clean that off just a little bit. And then we're going to clean this side off also. And make sure you guys always keep it really thin around the cuticles area, okay? Because when your nails grow out, you want it to blend and flush into the nail bed. You don't want a super chunky lump of acrylic when the client nails grow out. So always keep it thinner at the cuticles. There you go. I'm just going to clean it up just a bit. And then just press it into the shape, and then I'm gonna wait for that to dry. So while that's drying, I am working on my next nail, which is I'm gonna do a nude faded to a clear. So again, clean your brush, push it into the cuticles, and then lightly pull it right there. There you go. I think the trick to doing this is always pull the product down to thin it out when you get to where where you glue on your tip extensions. That should be like the point where you started dragging it towards the tip of the nail. Does that make sense? To make it like more like a nude faded to a clear ombre, just like that. And then again, I'm just using my brush, dip it in a little bit of monomer, pick up some clear powder, and then dip it into my glitter. So I'm just gonna use my clear acrylic just to pick up the glitters, and then press it into the tip of the nail just like that. With the chunky glitters, I don't pre-mix it. I think it's for me for some reason. I like it when it's raw, but I'm just gonna put it on there just like that, and then just lightly. And again, we're keeping this on the thinner side because we will be encapsulating this whole nail. And now this is dry, because when the glitter is still wet, if you go on and apply on your clear powder, when you go to pull it all the way down to the tip of the nails where the glitter is at, sometimes the clear powder might end up dragging the glitter off the nail. So you want the glitter to dry just a bit before you encapsulate it with crystal clear powder. And then now I'm just pressing it and press and pull it all the way down towards the tip of the nail. Just like that. And then I'm just going to cut it off at the end just like that, see? And remember the little trick that I always tell, when you guys are encapsulating nails with a crystal clear powder, make sure you guys keep it on the runnier side, because that's if it's too dry, when you pull it and drag it down, it can cause air bubbles and it have little bubbles in your clear nails. Okay, now getting back to this deep French, what I'm doing right now is I am using a hand file just to sharpen up the line just like that. So this is how you just sharpen it up. And then now this is sharpened. What I like to do is I like to tilt the finger on the side a little bit just like that. You see how I'm tilting it? And then I am applying on my white, which is number 2 from Notpolish. And then you just kind of lightly pull it into the corner. Doing it this way, if the white powder does actually run, it will run to the other side rather than running off the edges of the nail. So I always tilt the finger when I'm doing this deep French look. So I always tilt it to the side just a little bit. And now that it's set, I'm just going to pull it towards the to the tip of the nail. And why do I like to do one side first and one side after? It's because if it's a lot of people I see apply the white right in the middle and try to push it up on both sides. And with that technique, if you don't work fast enough, it might end up drying before you can cover both sides of the French. Does that make sense? All right, so now that side's done, I am going to work on this side. So as you guys can see, I am just applying on, and then I picked up a little bit more product than I like, so I'm just going to drag that off just a bit. And now this is a good amount. I am going to tap it into place. There you go. You just tap it, and then now I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure, and I'm going to press and pull again. There you go. Apply more pressure so you can pull it like the product off the tip of the nail. You see that? And then now, if you, especially doing stiletto tips, if you can't cut off the excess with the brush, I just use my finger and just pinch it off at the end like that, and just drag it off the tip like that. And then now I'm just gonna use the body of the brush, just press it into the shape. There you go. And for this nail, we're gonna do an ombre look. So we're gonna start out with the number 155 again, and I am gonna apply it right on like that. And then again, always keep your finger tilted downwards, okay? So the product can run off the nail instead of running on both sides of the nails. So make sure you flatten the top area first, and then press and pull the rest of the product down, because we don't want the top right there to be thick, because if it's too thick when you apply on your soft white, it might show through. So flatten, put on the powder, flatten the top area first, and then press and pull the rest of the product down towards the tip of the nails, just like that. And then I'm just gonna mold it into the shape. And now I'm going to go in with the soft white, which is number 101, okay? This is a soft white, not a white. So this is soft milky white from Notpolish is 101, and I'm pull it right there, and then I pull it right there. And then again, make sure you keep it on the thinner side. And for this look, I will be adding a little bit of glitter. So if the ombre is not perfect, don't worry about it, because we're gonna go in with a little bit of side glitter, okay? And I'm just gonna press it into place, and again, clean my brush, pick up a little bit of the clear powder, dip it in my raw glitter, and then press it into the nail. Or you can just use your wet brush and dip it into the glitter. That will just pick it up. And then while the product on the nail is still wet, I am just gonna press the glitter into the wet nail. So wet brush, dip it in a little bit of raw glitter, and then press it into the wet nail like that. And now I'm gonna wait for it to dry a little bit more, and then we're gonna encapsulate the whole nail with crystal clear powder again. And again, flatten out the top area first, clean your brush, and then now you press and pull it into the nail. You see? Press it into the nail, and while pulling, press, pull, press, pull. And then now you get to the tip of the nail, just cut it off like that. And then we're just gonna cut it off the end, like just like that. All right, now I'm gonna go in with my 5-in-1 super cut. There you go, because I am out of the 5-in-1 cross cut. So this is the 5-in-1 super cut. It's the same thing, but it's just a little bit finer. It's on a finer side. So this is my absolute favorite bits. And you guys remember how we used the other old school barrel bits, like the regular round one, I would say. This is my all-time favorite right now to use. And what I love about it is a safety bit, and it really made it really easy for me to shape my nails without, being worried about me cutting the side of the client nails or nicking the side of the client nails. So it's you guys have to try this bit, okay? And now we're just gonna go in and shape right there, taper in the edges like that. And again, just for this side also, taper in the edges just like that. And same goes for this nail. Always taper in, after you taper in, and then you smooth out the top of the nail just like that. Oh, I hit my glove. And then I am just gonna go in with the Notpolish hand file, and this is my absolute favorite hand file. Okay, guys, there you go. It's very sturdy. It's on the wider side, so it gives you a lot of support when you shaping the client nails. It doesn't slip off the nails or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go in and hand file these little daggers. There you go. And then now we're just gonna buff the nails. And my question of the day today is, which has been your favorite set of nails that I have done since I started out doing YouTube? So leave your comment down below for another chance to win our Notpolish surprise surprise giveaway set. Alright, now what I'm doing right now, I just apply on the matte top coat. And again, before I cure it, I like to clean off the edges of the nail. The reason why I'm doing so is because once you apply on the gel, sometimes it runs off the edge of the nails and it can ruin the shape. Not ruin, but make it less sharp. So by cleaning off the edges, I keep the shape super sharp, okay? Alright guys, and again, I am using the Notpolish dipping base. Okay, dipping base, and I'm gonna go in and apply my, again, if you're using smaller gems, I suggest you use the dipping base, but if it's larger gems, I think you should just use the jewelry gel. And I'm just gonna lightly dab it on. And for this technique, I think is best, okay, for best result, I would apply on the gems first and then go in with my matte top coat. But sometimes I tend to forget, and it does happen, and that's fine. It just takes a little bit longer to dry once you apply on the matte top coat. So okay, again, for the best faster setting for the nail to dry a lot, for the rhinestone to dry a lot faster. So what I would like to do is buff the nail, apply on my gems, give it like a little bit of time for it to air dry, and then go in with my matte top coat. But I kind of got ahead of myself and I just did the matte top coat and then the rhinestone. But that's okay if you do it that way also, because once you're done, make sure you seal everything up, and then you can use a little bit of tiny drop of activator, and that will instantly dry up all the gems. But be careful, because if you have the dipping base on top of the gems and you use the activator, sometimes it can dull out the rhinestone. Okay, there you go. So just be more careful if you working it like the way I'm doing it right now, matte top coat and then rhinestone. So again guys, make sure you apply your rhinestone first and then apply on your matte top coat or shiny top coat or whatever you prefer. And okay, I'm just gonna apply the gems on. And then after the gems are on, I'm gonna go in and just lightly touch it up with a little bit of activator, which is a number 3. Okay, an activator, what it does is instantly dries the dipping base. And now this is done and dry, and this is the final product of the whole set. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys in the comment section. What do you think about that video? If you like it, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment so you guys can win our next giveaway. And good luck to everybody. I'll see you guys next time.